Hello, Kubrick Lover 1972 here, back with another installment of the entire DVD and Blu-ray collection of mine. We're just going to focus on one movie on this particular episode series. Um, this one is a box set again. It's a documentary. It's by Claude Lanzmann. It's called Shoah. It's about the Holocaust. Let me read this blurb for you that I attached. It came on the wrapping, and I attached it to the actual paper itself. It says, "The greatest documentary about contemporary history ever made," and that's by the director Marcel Ophuls. It also has the director approved. I keep some of those sometimes to put on the DVDs or Blu-rays, So it's director approved by Claude Lanzmann. Let me read you the back. Over a decade in the making, Claude Lanzmann's 9-hour-plus opus is a monumental investigation of the unthinkable, the murder of more than 6 million Jews by the Nazis. Using no archival footage, Lanzmann instead focuses on first-person testimonies of survivors and former Nazis, as well as other witnesses, employing a circular, free associative method in assembling them. The intellectual yet emotionally overwhelming Shoah is not a film about excavating the past, but an intensive portrait of the ways in which the past is always present, and it is arguably one of the most important cinematic works of all time. And then I'll just read what it says down here. Director approved 6 DVD special edition features new restored 4K digital film transfer. 3 additional films by director Claude Lanzmann, A Visitor from the Living, 1999, 68 minutes. Sobador, October 14th, 1943, 4 p.m., 2001, 102 minutes. And The Karski Report, 2010, 49 minutes. New conversation between Lanzmann and critic Sergei Tubinia. Interview with Lanzmann from 2003 about A Visitor from the Living and Sobibor. New interview with Catherine Champetier, assistant camera person on Shoah, Carolyn, and filmmaker Arnaud Desplechin. Trailer and a booklet featuring an essay by critic Kent Jones and writings by Lanzmann. So, if you want to see a important documentary, this would be one of those films. That's in Poland right there. I believe that shot comes from. I'm pretty sure. I think that's the forest where the Jewish people were after their. I can't remember exactly what. I think maybe their bodies were burned or. I can't remember exactly what those forests, that woods is for. It's I think before those trees were there, I think it was ashes of Holocaust victims. I think, I don't know. This is one of the concentration camps, I believe. I think these were like ovens, and then they've been filled over now by grass. I can't remember exactly all of it because I haven't watched in quite some time. And that's a train right there. I don't know if it's one of the trains that the actual Jews were put on to go to the concentration camps. But I think they have trains that go up to places like Auschwitz. And that's let's see if we can get this. There you go. And here are the these are all Jewish people, I think. They're not, none of them, yeah. I don't know if the other guys are not. Well, almost all these people, if not all of them, are Jews. And then he has some Nazis here. We have one Nazi, a wife of a Nazi. Let's see. This guy. He's the Nazi he's the deputy to Dr. Heinz Oswald, Nazi commissioner of the Warsaw Ghetto. So this guy. We got more photos here. In reference to how he interviewed the Nazis, this film was made in I think it was started in the mid-70s, and it was finished by 85, I believe. 85 was the date he finished it. It took him many years to make this film. And it consists basically of conversations. There's some of the Holocaust survivors showing the actual places where it took place, where the crimes took place. But like in regards to the Nazis being Claude Lanzmann interviewing them, what he did was he had a secret camera, and he had a van outside with some of his assistants helping him out. And so he tried to dredge out, is that the right word? I don't know, tried to get information out of the Nazis as to what their role was and all that. And if you see this one right here, this is a Holocaust survivor here. He's on a boat. You see it on the menu selection on the first disc. I think almost everybody except for him was killed on that in that particular camp, but he survived because he knew a certain way to. I think his singing, it amused the Nazis, so they kept him alive. And then I think they tried to kill him, but he played dead. I think that's what happened, so he got to survive. Of course, that's the entrance to Auschwitz there. And, with everything going on these days, and maybe not just things that have happened in the past, but we should always, keep vigilant against another Holocaust happening, another, another kind of uprising in that sort where people's freedoms are taken away and horrible things are done. I made a point about this on the Italian films. Part 7, I think it is, of my videos. I talked about Salo and how a government left to its own devices, its own freedoms to do whatever it pleases, can put in jeopardy the actual victims or of that it ensnares in its in its net or what have you. But anyway, so in the case of Claude Lanzmann interviewing the Nazis, what he did, he had a secret camera. He had it in a briefcase. Back in those days, the technology wasn't as advanced. You didn't have things like Bluetooth or Wi-Fi or whatever. And so he was feeding this information to a van. A few times, maybe at least once, the Nazis figured out what was going on. There's also cases where he tries to interview a person at like a bar, a Nazi who's working at a bar, and they figure him out. They realize he wants to, talk to them about the Holocaust, and they'd been trying to like lie low, and but he doesn't let go, and he this is a really good documentary, but it's long. It's 9 hours or so, maybe a little more or so. There's no pictures here. It just the discs and the special features discs. Yeah. So, anyways, so Roger Ebert, I think, says this is the greatest documentary of all time. So it's highly praised, and I don't know if it won the Oscar for Best Documentary the year it came out. There was like a 10, 11 year or 12 year or something labor of love for Claude Lanzmann. And, so he also did a sequel to this, which came out, I can't remember if it was last year or the year before. It was up for an Oscar for Best Short Film, documentary short film. It might have had the word Shoah in it. He might have won the Oscar for it. I'm not quite sure on that. But if you like the Shoah movie, you might consider watching that as well. So that basically does it for this video. I thought this movie deserved its own video, and because of the subject matter, and because it doesn't really relate to other movies that I have. You know what? I do have another movie. I see it over there, and it's related to the Nazis and all that. So let me show that to you. I was going to show you that later, but maybe I'll show that now. Add it in. I'll be right back. Okay, so we have another film that is related to World War II. It's called The Third Reich, the Untold Story. It's over 12 hours of documentary footage. I purchased this at I think it was a library sale, one of the libraries around here, their book sales. So it's got it's 6 parts: Hitler, the Untold Story, the World at War from Hitler to Hiroshima, U-boats, Hitler's sharks. It's long. It's kind of, I don't think the discs are scratched, but they're all kind of sandwiched all together in one holder. They don't separate them out. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I guess if you treat the disc with respect, and you're careful with them, then perhaps you don't have to worry as much, I suppose. But they're just pictures of Hitler. They're all the same picture. See, it's all the same thing. Same thing for the third disc. I've watched a bit of this. I watched, I don't know, maybe the first 10, 30 minutes or so. It was kind of interesting. I thought it was kind of cheesy, the production value of there's a guy sitting at a desk, like a news desk kind of thing, and there's a screen showing clips behind him, and then that kind of looks kind of crappy in my opinion. But I gotta give this a watch. It's not bad to get something loaded with this. I will say also, now that we're talking about World War II, I listen to books on CD in the car to kill time. I like it. I told you I'm going to show you the books I own as well after I show you all my movies. But I like listening. I like reading, and watching movies can be time consuming. So can books. So can reading books be. And so what I thought that I should do in order to solve some of this problem would be to play books on CD in the car and kill some time that way. So I can get some reading done while I'm doing something else. Multitask, I don't know, but just get something out of the way. So previous to the book I'm listening to now, I listened to The Rise and Fall of the Third Reich. It took me a long time to get through. It took me, let me see, when did I start that? August, I think. And it took me almost till close to Thanksgiving, I think it took me, because I would turn it on and play it while I was driving around, doing errands or going to work or what have you. And right now I'm listening to one on Mao Zedong. I'm on disc 19 or 20 or something like that. There's 25 discs. It's pretty fascinating. Not a nice guy, Mao Zedong, but it's pretty interesting. And I like reading. I like basically hearing nonfiction stuff. I don't think I really care to hear novels or not that many novels. If so, like they'd have to be the classics or just some interesting novel of some sort. But generally speaking, I like the history or biographies, my kind of thing. Other stuff too is interesting, like Malcolm Gladwell. I've listened to some of his books. So listened to some of Thomas Friedman's books. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed the video. Next up, we're going to tackle the two Russian directors, Eisenstein and Tarkovsky. I also have another Russian director, Alexander Sakharov, I believe his name is. He made this film called Russian Ark, which is this long, continuous take shot in the Hermitage in St. Petersburg, Russia. And it's one continuous shot, and it goes through all these rooms in the Hermitage, which is this art museum, and it's different centuries in each room. Like this is the 20th century, the 19th, and the 18th. And this movie was around like 70 something minutes long, but it's been topped. So after that, a film called Victoria or something like that. And recently I saw this movie. I would suppose that they're going to put it on DVD at some point, Blu-ray. It's a film called Lost in London. It was done it was directed and starring Woody Harrelson. And I think he took something that happened to him in his real life, a few years back. This was just shown just not too long ago, maybe a few weeks ago, at Lowe's. I saw it at Lowe's theaters, and it was being broadcast all over the world, I believe, at least in America and in England. I think all over the world, rather, though. And what it was is it was a live film, as a continuous take, and so they rehearsed it. They really rehearsed it, and then they did it, and it basically went out without a hitch. There might have been a few snafus, like there's this, like maybe one part the sound isn't quite consistent with the rest of the film, and then there was another part of the film that Woody Harrelson mentions at the end of after the film has been shown. He talks about like he's he's holding on to this phone and repeating words over again because he's waiting for this actor to get to where he's located and the actor has to say a line, and he doesn't get there right in time. So, but it doesn't. But basically, no one notices that there was that it's not really a mistake, but it didn't go according to the script exactly. It sort of did, but the actor was supposed to be there a little earlier in the scene, and he was delayed by like 30 seconds or a minute or something. So, anyways, enough of that. So we'll get to Russian directors in the next video. So thanks for watching, and take care.